One of the mitzvot of Purim is the enigma of Machatzit HaShekel, of half the shekel. Of course, we're not talking about the shekel that the state of Israel puts out. We're talking about the totally different coin. That, hey Josh, there is some chulut if you want. Amazing, he done made it. So the mitzvah that we have today, it's not to give Machatzit HaShekel, but rather zecher, as a commemoration for the time that we used to read Machatzit HaShekel. And Machatzit HaShekel was a mitzvah mideoraita, a biblical commandment, at the time that when Beit HaMikdash was in existence. And in our days, it's only a minhag that is appropriate to fulfill, to do. And when many people who give this Machatzit HaShekel, is they usually give this abundant, this money in the mincha before we read Megillat Esther. So today, this year, you can, depends on each one to his different shul. I don't know when they read the Megillah. Some read it immediately after, some read it later. Well, you can do it then, or you can even do it tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon. That's not a problem because we'll see that the time to give it is really from the beginning of Adar. You can start giving that. On giving Machatzit HaShekel, Rav Chaim Palachi wrote wonderful things. He wrote the following, pay attention. Kol mi shenoten Machatzit HaShekel. Anybody who gives Machatzit HaShekel, muftach lo, guaranteed, shu ben ha'olam haba. Now, which part of Olam Haba, that's already up to discussion. But you going to go to Olam Haba, velo יקרה לו שום פגע רע באותה שנה, nothing bad will happen to you this year, ואפילו נגזרה גזרה עליו, או על בני ביתו, God forbid there's a decree on him or on his household, היא מתבטלת. It gets cancelled. ואינו בא לידי חיסרון כיס באותה שנה. And at the end, this year you're not going to end up looking for money. והמתמיד בה מדי שנה, and if a person does it year after year after year carefully, יראה זרע ויאריך ימים. He's going to have a continuation somehow, and he's going to have long life. Amen. The source of the mitzvah is, or the purpose of this mitzvah is giving what we call giving it to Hekdesh, and basically, in order for us to buy the korbanot, the korban tamid, and whatever we need, called the korbanot tzibur that we need in Beit HaMikdash. So the time of the Mishkan and the time of the temple in Jerusalem on the Temple Mount. By the way, I'm really upset that they call the Yerushalmi Talmud in Wikipedia the Palestinian Talmud. You should go in and change it because it's not even written in a Jewish Palestinian Aramaic, which is a crock of baloney. It's actually Galilean Aramaic. So please go to Wikipedia and change it. So they used to bring those korbanot tzibur, the public offering, as an atonement for the people. So the Torah has established that those korbanot, those offerings, will come from the money of the tzibur, of the people, without any kind of difference between a poor man and a rich man. Everybody has to give the same exact amount to also tell us that we're all equal, in order for us to also, all of us, have that atonement as a tzibur, as a congregation, from God Himself. The money of Machatzit HaShekel, they used to buy those korbanot, this offering, and then they used to be brought on the Mizbeach. The source from the Torah is in Parashat Kitisa, very good. Who said Kitisa? And it says, זה יתנו כל העובר על הפקודים, מחצית השקל בשקל הקודש, 20 גרה השקל, מחצית השקל תרומה להשם. That's Shmot, Sefer Shmot. Last time I checked is Exodus, chapter 30, verse 13. In Aleph Adar, at the beginning of Adar, every year they used to announce that they have to bring the Machatzit HaShekel, and that money itself they used to give before the Mincha of Tanit Esther or right after that. But it's not really, you don't have to give it exactly before Megillat Esther and so on and so forth. And Chazal established that you have to give this truma, this donation, in Chodesh Adar. So the Jews will give the shkalim of Am Yisrael before the Shekalim that Haman wanted to give Achashverosh to kill the Jews. So we do it on Chodesh Adar. So in our days, as we said before, it's only a minhag, and it's a zecher, it's a commemoration for the Machatzit HaShekel. So even though we don't have Bet HaMikdash, and as a result of that, we cannot fulfill that mitzvah, but it's just a minhag, a tradition that we do, still we give this because we don't even want to let go of a memory of a mitzvah that we right now cannot fulfill, but soon, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll be able to do. By giving this, there are some people who are makpid to say zecher leMachatzit HaShekel. Some people are makpid to say, and not leMachatzit HaShekel. Because if you say leMachatzit HaShekel, it has to go for that only. You say zecher as a commemoration, zecher leMachatzit HaShekel. So this money would not be considered to be as hekdesh, like some people who go to the Bet Aliyah and the Gabbai says to him, Shemenadev lebinyan Bet HaMikdash. You can't do that. You can't do that because then you have a problem. Now, who has to give the Machatzit HaShekel? The mitzvah midoraita was only for men to give Machatzit HaShekel. Now, the machloket is if the men from the age of 13 or from the age of 20 have to give Machatzit HaShekel. In Kaf HaChaim it's brought that also women give Zecher leMachatzit HaShekel because there is a kapara to the nefesh in that. Because of what Rav Chaim Palachi wrote, that it's a kapara for the nefesh, the minhag is for women to give it also. That's why there is a minhag also to give for children. And some people are noheg that if the woman is pregnant, they give also for the baby in the stomach, sheyeh kaparat nefesh for that as well. Rav David Chaya Cohen wrote that even though the women are patur, and the reason to exempt women is because they did not take part in the chet of the egel, that's why they don't need an atonement. Still, the minhag is to the women do it also because who knows what, so they want to give it also. And it's appropriate, as I said to you, if you have children, to give to your children also, and not necessarily only from the age of bar or bat mitzvah. And when my kids were young, I gave it all, regardless of what age they were. And it's a good minhag, it's a good thing to do, but it's not a must. It's a good thing to do. Now, in our days, since there isn't yet Bet HaMikdash built, so instead of this money going to Hekdesh, it is given as a tzedakah le'aniim, for poor people. And it's important to note that those money, that money that goes Machatzit HaShekel should not come from the meiser money that you have to decide. Maaser ksafim, when you make money, you have to give maaser. Don't be cheap. You have to give maaser. That does not include from that. Now, how much should we give nowadays? Now, of course, that's the question that everybody asks. The Rambam explained to us that at the time of Bet HaMikdash, you have to give an amount of money that is equal to what we call Shnei Dinarei Kesef. Shnei Dinarei Kesef, right? 2 silver dinar, right? And which the weight was, we'll get to this, the weight was Shlosha Kesef. 3 silver. And now, that 3 silver in today's weight, more or less, is about 9 grams of pure silver, 925, whatever it is, that, according to the price of silver every year, the price will change. Now, if you want to look further, you can look at the Rambam Halachot Shekalim, Perek Aleph, Halacha, Vav. Rav, they said today, I checked, that in Israel they say the price is about 28 shekels. However, in the United States, I checked today, based on today, a gram of silver is 82 cents. So if you take 9 grams, it'll come out to about $7.38. And that's the minimum that you have to give. But don't be stingy. 10, yeah? Actually, the money goes to poor people. Right? The money goes to poor people. Believe me, better off you give $20. And now you can give for you or your wife or whatever, or the same thing. You say, this is for my wife and me. Here's $20, Machatzit HaShekel, and you're good to go. This money goes to poor people. And you should be blessed that you are able to give and not to get. My father, alav shalom, said to me the following: always say thank you that you are on the side that gives and not on the side that gets. And if you're already getting, ask to only get from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. שנאמר, לא לידם מתנת בשר ודם ולא הלווייתם. Right? It's better to get it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it's a zchut for you. So if you have an opportunity to give, hey, give. If you don't and you are stressed for money, not cheap, stressed for money, you give $2.50. I mean $7.50. Now, some people are makpid, they say when I buy, that's the price of silver. But if I buy the silver, there's going to be some commission on it and, whatever, this, that, the other thing. So, in Israel, I saw some people say on the 28 shekels, there should be 30 shekels, 35 shekels for commissions, whatever it goes in Israel. So here also, give, if you give extra, you say kol hashitot, here for you a chance to do something from all your heart without thinking, a tremendous guarantee, and to do according to all opinions. And as I said, a family, let's say that, for example, have a lot of kids or poor people that don't have money, and they don't have, right? Some say in Israel they can give Machatzit HaShekel. In other words, half a shekel. But that's just try to make these people feel like they're doing something. Because, imagine a person has a family, 7, 8, 10 kids, and plus him and his wife. So, 10 times 30, that's like over 300 shekels. It's going to be like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. 300 shekels, you can buy some, not a lot, but some food. So, but Baruch Hashem, we're okay. If you have enough money to buy yourself, whatever it is you buy yourself, a Coke and a Danish or coffee in Danish, you know what? Skip it one day and give Machatzit HaShekel, it'll be fine. Or bagel, it'll be okay. Now, who is appropriate to give the money? As we said before, Rav Chaim Palachi in Ruach Chaim wrote in the name of some Acharonim the following, and I'm quoting: Yesh latet hamaot letalmidei chachamim aniyim. You have to give it to poor people, poor talmidei chachamim hashogdim al daltei torato hakdosha, who are truthfully learning. Of course, if you have poor people that don't have food on the table, fine, give it to them. But that's what Rav Chaim Palachi wrote, and it says sheneemar im bikashta lasot tzedakah aseh im amalei Torah. Right? So that's also an opportunity, guys, to remind you that it's okay to support the yeshiva. We don't get any fundings from governments. We don't get any funding from anything. So it's okay to help us as well. But it will be more important if you help actually poor people to put food on the table, to do that as well. And this is the minhag, and Chazal already says, Kol hamatil melai lekis talmidei chachamim, whoever helps a talmid chacham to not to go hungry, zoche veyoshev beyeshiva shel mala. He gets to sit down not only in olam haba, but he also is able to sit down in the other world in the highest possible realm, yeshiva shel mala. So that goes to support, and the minhag is, by Ashkenazim at least, is to go out in Purim and collect money for the yeshivot, and so on and so forth. But just saying apropos that, so if you see that they say in the shul, the money goes to Talmud Torah, or the money goes to Aniyim, guys, an opportunity, you should jump upon it like you're finding a great bounty. The opportunity to do tzedakah, the opportunity to give from yourself to somebody that doesn't have. And that will be a wonderful thing. So Be'ezrat Hashem, b'zchut zeh, because don't forget, the reason why they came to salvation in Purim is not because of the fasting. is because they give mishloach manot to one another. Because they care about one another, so everybody will have something to do, that closeness they feel. So this is a great opportunity for us, Dafka this year, that the whole world is turning around us, including Canada, to unite and to let everybody into our Jewish home. And Be'ezrat Hashem, B'schut Zeh, the Geulah will come, and Mashiach will come, and the light of HaKadosh will shine on the whole entire world, and peace and harmony will fall in the world. Amen.
Amen.